Now we'll pull out the winding arbor. That's the barrel from the strike side. This is a going train. The winding arbor. The spring barrel, main spring barrel, put them aside. Once again, everything absolutely covered in oil. Pick the movement up. I'll move the box out of the road so we can move on with what we're doing. A bit of a wipe. I don't want to get oil over everything on my desk. Yeah, we'll take that one off next. All right, now once again, got a very fine piece of wire bent over here. It's holding that flirt in. By the way, a flirt is a generic name for any lever in a clock movement. That's pretty much got it out, I think. I don't think unless there's some left in there. Must be a little bit. Yep, there's a tiny little bit of wire in there. I'll try to remove it with a set of serrated nose pliers instead of the usual flat nose pliers we use for clock work. You can hardly see it, but it is there. Try that one. Oh gee. And while we're there, we'll take the next one out too. Screwdriver, push the piece of wire down. It's a bit tricky to get at. There's very little clearance in there for me to fit the screwdriver in. There's no need for these to be pushed in so incredibly tightly. A slight turnover is quite sufficient to hold them in place. I'll use a screwdriver again to remove the wire away from the back plate. It's certainly very, very tightly pushed down in there. It's very tight in there. That wire is seriously jammed in there. That's got it. Alright, see what we got. Flirt there, and that one there should be loose now. There, still being hard, playing hard to get on with. Alright, well, the springs are seriously let down, plus they're not there, so we know that. I'll undo the nuts on the pillars now. We'll take the top plate off. There, first one in. And then see what we've got inside. Then wipe a lot of the oil off the parts and get them ready to go into the ultrasonic cleaner. Good run. And the last one. Right. Now, very carefully lift the top plate up. We can see what we got in there. Come on. That one, I think that there's a slight bend in the top plate where it fits over the pillars, and that's not particularly helping to be able to remove it. Still a little bit tight. Right, I'll have a look at that off camera and see what, once I clean the oil off my gloves, have a look and see what we've got in there, see what the problem is. Right, we'll start getting the parts ready to put into the ultrasonic cleaner. I'll start off by cutting some wire so that we can tie the pieces together from the same train. That'll make them easier to identify once we take them out. First wheel, second wheel. It's a nice strong bit of wire there. Bend that down a bit. Next piece I'll take up is the warning wheel. We'll put that onto the piece of wire. Warning wheel. And we'll put the fly on. It'll just fit in there. Now I'll take up a pair of pliers to twist the wire off. Bend that around. With this tough wire, I'd be lost without a decent pair of pliers to twist it off and hold it. That'll hold them in place. That's the chime side wheels ready. I'll put them aside. Cut a piece of wire now for the going side train. Now we'll do the going side train. Cut another piece of wire. Bend it in half. First wheel, second wheel, third wheel, and the escape wheel. The escape wheel easily distinguished from the other wheels in the clock movement by the shape of its teeth. Twist the wire around so we don't lose the parts. It's a bit better. Hold with a pair of pliers, twist it round. That's better. Right. A bit more light on that, I think. That's the going side train. Put that aside. Now take up some more wire. Now we'll do the strike side. Another piece of wire. Bend it in half. First wheel. Second wheel, it's also called the star wheel for obvious reasons. Warning wheel and the fly. Put them all on that piece of wire. Twist it round, bend it down, twist it round. And that's the strike side train. Now we've got other pieces to put on. The rack and the pinion, we'll tie them down together. Another piece of wire. We can pull it out of the loop, we will. Actually, I'll take that off. Piece off so we can drag it out from the other end. Right. Another piece of wire. Put the snail on first. Then the rack. Bend the wire up. Twist it round. Now a pair of pliers. Rack and snail all together. The mainspring barrels, I'll take them apart. We'll take the mainsprings out, clean them and lubricate them, and then put them aside so we can then use the barrels to go into the ultrasonic cleaner. So we'll leave them for a moment. Now we've got other parts here. We'll put in these super duper little tea strainers. Keep them all together. The nuts and the screws that went with that. Tighten it down. Oops, a little bit too tight. See if that fits in a little bit more easily. It's got him. Clamp that down. Right, we've got some other parts now that we're going to get ready to put in the ultrasonic cleaner. Cut another piece of wire, bend it in half. We'll put these two parts on from the chiming and striking mechanism at the rear of the movement. Here we go. It's got them together. Put them aside. Now, our hammers, which we can see there, I'm not going to put them into the ultrasonic cleaner simply because the leather on them will absorb the solution and it seriously won't do the leather any good at all. We could in actual fact tie it like that and drop the bottom piece into the ultrasonic to have it cleaned, but then the hammer heads wouldn't be clean, so you'd have a half piece clean and the other half not clean, and yeah, that'd look a bit strange, I would think. So we'll leave them out entirely. We've got the verge and the back cock here. We'll put them in. We've also got two pillars from the chiming mechanism at the back. They'll go in. Plus we've got our 4 nuts there that hold the plates onto the posts. We'll put them in a small container because there's only 4 of them. Pop them in there. Put those aside. Now that's all the parts other than the clicks and the barrels. If you want to learn how to service, repair and restore 19th and 20th century mechanical clocks, then subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell.